Welcome to the Channel 6 News. I'm Dee Tranter reporting. The state's head of economic development says Utah should financially help Southeast Utah develop its tourist industry. And Grand County will foot a big bill to fix a road used by Columbia Oil. We'll have those stories when Channel 6 News continues.
First Western National Bank announces Common Sense Checking. It has all the benefits like free checks, unlimited checking, accidental death insurance, safe deposit boxes, etc. But Common Sense has more. Credit card protection, a $500 emergency cash advance service, key ring protection, and a discount program to save you up to 50% on lodging worldwide and other great travel discounts. So why did First Western expand your banking benefits? Common sense. First Western National Bank, your hometown bank in Moab.
B. Osborne's is the most complete bookstore in Southeast Utah. Your complete bookstore for magazines, books, maps, special orders from anywhere, magazines from Europe, newspapers from major cities of the U.S. Need a special gift for that person on your list who is hard to please? Get a gift certificate from B. Osborne's and let them please themselves. B. Osborne's Books and Magazines, 50 South Main in Moab, your bookstore and more.
For the best RV camp park in Moab, it's Holiday Haven, with oversized spaces to accommodate the largest RV and cool, comfortable tent sites under mature shade trees, all with a convenient central location. Holiday Haven is also Moab's finest mobile home park that offers country living in the city, an established park with pool, playground, laundry facilities, and a retired section. For comfortable RV or mobile home living, it's Holiday Haven, 400 North, 5th West.
Tourism should continue to grow in Southeast Utah. That's the forecast from Thane Robeson, professor of business at the University of Utah and the State Authority on Economic Development. Robeson spoke to a special luncheon meeting sponsored by First Western National Bank. Robeson explained to Channel 6 that the world economy is growing smaller and that Southeast Utah is feeling the effects of the change.
It will impact this part of Utah by continuing dramatic increases in the tourism economy. It will increase the numbers of people who come here to retire. We've been looking at clearly the fact that this region is attractive to people who retire and move to the region. The proportion of income to households, for example, coming from the kinds of income that older people generally receive has doubled in the last 10 years in this part of Utah.
Robeson has worked on economic development plans for years. He says the state must continue its traditional help to this region through national tourist promotion, but he adds that more is now needed.
Well, there are two things. We do what we've traditionally done, which is promote tourism. My own recommendation to the state legislature and the governor is that the state needs to develop a tourism infrastructure fund to help develop both the public and private tourism infrastructure in southern Utah, that we are reaching a growth and a scale now where that's one of the activities that would pay big dividends if we would invest in low interest loans, in matching grants, the assistance in the development of restaurants, motels, golf courses. We think this part of Utah is ripe for a large destination resort, but it will take some small subsidies to get that off the ground.
Overall, Robeson says, Moab residents can expect the tourist boom of the last few years to continue.
We think we'll continue to see the growth in tourism spending in Grand County substantially at the same or better rates than last year. The tourism in this region will grow faster than in the state as a whole. I am increasingly convinced that the Moab, southeastern Utah area has a very bright future for growth and expansion in tourism spending and visitation by foreigners, by people from all over the United States.
Columbia Oil Company paid about $88,000 in property taxes to Grand County last year, money for schools, the hospital, and county departments. This week, Grand County is returning the favor. The snow and rain over the last few weeks has caused problems for the oil company, which is pumping crude at their third well in the Big Flat area. The massive tanker trucks are unable to get in and out of the well area, so they've turned to the county for help, according to Road Supervisor Dave Warner.
Out there right now, we're working on the road that goes to the new Columbia oil well off the Spring Canyon Road. We've had some problems out there because the land out there is blow sand mostly, and shale has been hauled on that road for years to tighten up the blow sand. And now with the wet weather, the shale has become extremely slick, so we're trying to get some gravel out there on that road to keep it from being slick, and so that the tankers can get in to haul the oil out.
Blading the road, dropping a little gravel, it doesn't seem like much, but the road runs for 9 miles and the cost of the work adds up.
I estimate that the minimum cost for the county is probably going to be about $60,000 to get gravel all the way in from the Dead Horse Point Road.
So the minimum cost is $60,000. What's your estimate is the maximum?
The maximum, it could run up in the neighborhood of $100,000 depending on whether this first attempt at hauling gravel will actually hold it. If we have to haul more than what we're planning on right now, it could run up as high as $100,000.
If it does,
The road is part of the county system, and that makes the county responsible for the repairs.
this became a top priority for you. Why?
The oil company got a hold of myself and Commissioner Torres, and they expressed a desire to have us do something for them immediately because they had the well shut in. So Commissioner Torres asked me to make this our #1 priority.
The state passes on about $900 per mile to the county for the repair of Class B roads. That seems like a lot, but repair costs can be high, as the project shows. And Warner says the rough terrain and bad weather can affect a number of roads at the same time.
We have problems in the Book Cliffs with oil companies trying to get to their wells at this present time. Also, the oil companies that operate out of Grand Junction, like Willard Pease and Beartooth and Mesa Pipeline, are currently working with us out there to open up their wells, and we're trying to get out there and take care of some of those, along with our other projects like plowing snow up to Geyser Pass and taking care of the Spring Canyon Road.
The county work should continue for about a week or so. A leader of the Utah Professional Golf Association says the Moab course is one of the best in the state. We'll have that story when Channel 6 News continues.
Brighten up your wardrobe this season with a special look from On the Edge. Striking sweaters for her and comfortable flannel shirts in light and heavy weights. Top them off with a wide variety of leather and denim coats. Look sharp this fall with activewear from On the Edge.
John Fogg at Central Utah Insurance is your agent on the scene and behind the scene to make sure you get prompt, efficient response to your insurance claims. John Fogg at Central Utah Insurance, your independent insurance agent, the agent who works for you.
It's breakfast time. You're long on hunger, but short on change. What can you get for $1.89? How about this? Or this? Now it's lunch. How much you got? Lunch for $1.89? Golden Steak, your special place, every day of the week.
It's just 2 weeks to go until Grand County voters make history by choosing the people to lead the second ever change of county government in Utah. Voters will select 2 at-large members and 5 district members for a new, nonpartisan county council to run what is soon to be a $5 million operation. And to help voters make their choices, the League of Women Voters will hold a special candidates forum Monday evening, January 25th. Candidates in 4 of the 5 district races will be on hand to answer questions from both the League and from members of the audience. In District 1, Charlie Peterson will face off against Dale Mosier. District 2 voters will choose between Ken Ballantyne and Adair White. District 3 voters will select between Paul Menard and Mike Holyoke. And District 5 voters will choose either John Maynard or Dave May. A candidates forum takes place at 7 p.m. Monday evening at the Civic Center. Candidates for the at-large positions and in District 4 will hold their forum on Wednesday evening. The Moab Golf Course is a hidden treasure. That's the word from a leader of the Utah Professional Golf Association. Craig Warren was in town over the weekend, and he took advantage of the January sunshine for a round of golf. It's been a long winter for Wasatch Front residents, and if southeast Utah weather stays nice, we should be seeing more northern Utah residents fleeing the snow. Warren says the quality of the golf course here should attract a bunch of them.
This is a great course. I had never played it until 4 weeks ago, and I've been back 3 times since. And as far as the course layout goes, it's a great golf course. It makes you hit every shot in your bag, every club in your bag, from driver to sand wedge. Par 3s are a ball to play. The par 5s most of them are all reachable. In 2, it's a really challenging golf course, but it's not so difficult that the 20 handicapper can't enjoy it.
The golf course here was expanded from 9 to 18 holes just 4 years ago. It's now home to the Canyonlands Open, a state PGA-sanctioned Pro-Am tournament. In recent months, some people have wondered about whether or not to add an additional 9 holes to make the course more of an attraction. But Warren says the goal now should be to promote what we already have.
And I think is what they need right now is a little publicity. This is the best kept secret in Utah. There's a lot of people that don't know this course exists. When I tell people I went down to Moab and played, oh, what's the name of the course? It's the Moab Golf Course. Oh, yeah, but what's the name of the course? No, it's the Moab Golf Course. I think publicity right now. Let the people know the course is here before you build another 9 or anything like that. And get people down here enjoying it, get the tourism down here. I know you've got the Slick Rock rides and all. I would publicize this. That's where I'd put my money right now, is in publicity of the course.
So where does the Moab course stand compared to others in Utah? Warren says right at the top.
Of all the courses in Utah, I'd rank this in my top 10. Of all the courses, there's 90 some odd courses in Utah. This is definitely in the top 10, maybe in the top 5 of courses that I've played. As far as St. George goes, it ranks equally as good as Sunbrook and Green Spring, which are supposed to be the courses in St. George, the new courses.
The golf club is looking at their biggest year ever. Along with the Canyonlands tournament, a host of other events are scheduled, from the Icebreaker tournament in early spring to couples best ball late in the year. Local basketball fans didn't have too much to cheer about over the weekend. Here's Ken Davey with a report.
For Grand County athletes, coaches, and fans, it was a weekend to forget. A good crowd came out Friday night to watch the Red Devil basketball team take on Park City, but the results were not good. The Miners used their height and speed to coast to a 91-60 victory. There were some good performances by the Red Devils. Jason Nelson scored 24 points with some good outside shooting and some defensive hustle. And Cody Holyoke also came through with 16 points. Saturday, the Red Devils traveled north, but the results were the same, a loss in Camas to South Summit, 88-58. And back in Moab, the She-Devils played host Saturday evening to Monticello, but the team just could not get going. Monticello's Jolynn Erdley poured in 25 points, and the Buckaroos won easily, 81-13. Tuesday, the girls head off to North St. Pete, with the boys making the trip the next day. This is Ken Davey for Channel 6.
Up next is the Canyon Country weather forecast when Channel 6 News continues.
When you need a gift, come to Sherry's Country Store Gifts. A country store doesn't just mean country-style goods, it means a store stocked with items to satisfy the needs of the people. Sherry's carries on that tradition by offering a wide selection of gifts for any age, presented in a warm country store atmosphere. So come on in and browse, or grab a treat and set a spell on the green benches of Sherry's Country Store Gifts in the Western Plaza.
Our planet's rainforests are burning. Less rainforest means less rain and an even greater threat from global warming. Right now, you can join the National Arbor Day Foundation and support rainforest rescue. Your call will mean that the wildlife, plants, and people that abound there will not be lost forever. In the few seconds I've been talking, a forest the size of 5 city blocks went up in smoke. You'd better call now.
The Nike Air Moab, only at RIM.
It was beautiful sunshine in the valley on Monday, but winter was definitely in the air, with afternoon thermometer readings staying only in the 30s. And look for sunny skies, though, to continue. The forecast for Moab and Canyon Country calls for blue skies through Tuesday and Wednesday. Highs should be up to the low 40s. Overnight low readings down to around 20 degrees. Some clouds and fog may come in on Thursday, but only for a short while. Then it's back to sunny skies and 40-degree temperatures through Friday. And that's news of Moab and Canyon Country. I'm Dee Tranter reporting. Have a good day. Welcome to the Channel 6 News. I'm Dee Tranter reporting. Candidates for the new county council meet at the League of Women Voters Forum, and the Sheriff's Department asked for help in locating a missing local resident. We'll have those stories, plus a report on a search and rescue effort to find an accidental gunshot wound victim when Channel 6 News continues.
Well, welcome to Fat City Smokehouse. We'd like to take this opportunity to show you what we have to offer in the way of smoked meat products. We have our brisket of beef, which we smoke 12 to 15 hours. We have chicken. We have all our own homemade sausages. We have pork ribs. We have baby back ribs. We have what's getting quite famous, our slick burger, which is a half-pound hamburger. We have a vegetarian burger for you vegetarians. We'd also like to invite you folks down to come and check our daily specials out.
The 50 More account at First Western. More perks, free checks, free checking, travel benefits, more security, $100,000 accidental death insurance, more convenience, direct deposit and notary service, all free with just a $100 balance. Or for no minimum balance and just $4 a month, join the 50 More Plus account for all these benefits. Plus, eyewear and pharmacy discounts, CD bonuses, safety deposit boxes, and more. The 50 More accounts at First Western National Bank.
Best Value is your locally owned and operated food store, and to be sensitive to the needs of their community, they feature well-stocked shelves, fresh produce, choice meats, major brands, always at competitive prices. But that's only part of Best Value's advantage. They believe in service like special orders and fast checkout for stress-free shopping. So check out Best Value today and check out a satisfied customer. For the candidates in 4 of 5 district races for county council, Monday evening was a big opportunity to go one-on-one with their opponents. It was the League of Women Voters Candidates Forum at the Civic Center. About 90 people, all told, showed up to hear those running in District 1, 2, 3, and 5. District 4 and the at-large candidates will be on the spot Wednesday evening. On many questions, the candidates agreed, but on some issues, different views and approaches were evident. The County Planning Commission has been meeting for well over a year discussing a new master plan. A draft was prepared, including controversial sections asserting county control over federal lands. The County Planning Commission removed some of those more controversial sections, and the document now languishes awaiting further action. Candidates for the 1st District Council seat discussed that plan and the planning process.
There's been a lot of rewriting and stuff left out of the master plan that I believe should go back into it, such as private property rights and county rights. The BLM has wrote that on the first writing of the master plan that there was too much concern over private property. Now, I don't believe that a federal outfit ought to be saying there's too much concern over private property.
I think unless the people are behind the plan, unless they can take part in the development of the plan, unless it's something that most of the people agree with, I think that the plan doesn't come into use very well. As to the matter of what kinds of things are included in the plan, I think the plan is most useful if it becomes a tool for development in the county. It is less useful if it has controversial political statements in it that some people agree with and some don't.
The old Spanish Trail Arena brought in about $20,000 last year, but cost a great deal more than that to operate. District 2 candidates gave their views on what to do.
I do believe, and I can foresee in the future, that it will be able to pay for itself. But it needs the support of the community and the continued efforts on the part of Sandy as well as the rec board to bring as many events as possible to that facility.
There is a similar facility like this in Farmington, New Mexico. I get a lot of different papers, and they went ahead and sold it to private enterprise after they had had it for a couple years. And they seem to feel like, at least that county did, that it would perhaps be better for private enterprise to take it over.
The road district proposal to construct a highway over the Book Cliffs remains a controversial question. Those running for District 3 gave very different views on what the county should do.
In talking to people in the district, listening to people at the hearings that have gone on, the people want that stopped. And as far as I can see, the idea of changing the name from the Book Cliffs Road to the Book Cliffs right-of-way is just that, a way to tone it down. Supposedly another $20,000 will take care of that right-of-way and the environmental impact statement that's required on there. It also qualifies the road board for grants and loans. So it keeps the door open to keep the torment going, to keep us bickering over it. I believe we need to cleanse our hands of the whole deal completely.
I support the obtaining of the right-of-way for the Book Cliffs Road for the main reason that I support economic development in the community. I went down and looked at the tax rolls, and Columbia Gas, who has drilled, they've drilled 2 wells that they've completed and are have been in production. They paid to the county $88,000 in taxes, not counting the bonuses and stuff that come from that. I'm not in favor of spending any more money on the Book Cliffs Road, but I think that the right-of-way needs to be there so that when and if the oil companies want to go in there, that they can go in there and in a responsible manner and take out the oil and oil shale tar sands there.
Members of the new council will be paid $500 a month with no county benefits. And the number of projects, problems, and opportunities facing the county, the new council will be putting in a lot of hours over the next few years. The two people vying for the District 5 explained why they chose to run.
I've looked at, watched this community for a long time, been a part of it, and wanted to be more involved in it. And we've come to a time when that's something that's become more accessible to all of us, both because of the change in government and because of the elimination of pretty much the control of the process here by a few people or a few small groups. I guess I'm taking advantage of an opportunity. And the opportunity I see is one to serve the community, to perhaps help go forward with new ideas and some changed attitudes.
I've seen this community become really divided, and frankly, I don't like it. I see neighbors arguing and bickering and fighting. I see former friends arguing. And I guess I can't put it any more succinctly than to say I'm tired of it.
The candidates forum for District 1, 2, 3, and 5 will be shown in its entirety here on Channel 6 on February 2nd and 4th, beginning at 7 p.m. The forum for District 4 and the at-large candidates take place Wednesday evening, January 27th, beginning at 7 p.m. at the Civic Center, and that too will be broadcast by Channel 6. The Sheriff's Department is looking for a local resident missing since Friday. And search and rescue goes to help a hiker with an accidental gunshot wound. We'll have those stories when Channel 6 News continues.
Prices are low at Subway, but I'd rather focus on sandwiches. People call them hoagies or heroes or submarines because they're shaped like submarines, but we call them Subway sandwiches. Our 6-inch meatball sub features meatballs and sauce on bread I just baked, all for a low economical price. I won't say how low, but you'll probably find enough in the cushions of your couch.
For 25 years, Subway has quietly made some of the best sandwiches anywhere, like the 6-inch meatball sub, only $1.69, only at Subway.
Moab Hardware and Furniture, where televisions abound.
Search and rescue crews responded to an accidental gunshot wound in the Slick Rock area above the golf course. Crews were called out early Tuesday afternoon on a report of a hiker who was accidentally wounded when his gun went off. Sheriff's Department Deputy Kent Green told Channel 6 about the combined search and rescue, Sheriff's Department, and ambulance crew operation.
We received a call through dispatch that there was an individual in a Hidden Valley area located above the golf course, that there was a gunshot wound to the leg. EMTs, search and rescue members, and fire department personnel is responding. It's quite a hike in there. According to the RP, it was about a 2-mile hike in from this point where we're at now.
The victim was brought to Allen Memorial Hospital for treatment. He was reported to be in stable condition. Grand County Sheriff's Department is looking for help in locating a missing local resident. Sheriff Jim Nyland told Channel 6 that his department is responding to a request from the family of Tracy McDonald of Moab.
Friday afternoon, we were notified of a person that has been missing. We've been working really hard over the last few days trying to gain some information to where the person may have been. We don't feel that there's any foul play involved, at this particular time. Don't have any evidence to indicate that whatsoever. We've contacted a lot of his friends. The person's name is Tracy McDonald. He's 26 years old. We've tried to run down every possible lead of anybody that might have any information of his whereabouts. We've entered him on NCIC, in case somebody else happens throughout the United States to run into him, the law enforcement agencies, to where we can be notified of his well-being.
Island stressed that his department simply wants to make sure everything is okay.
Well, what we'd like to do is just put this information out to the public. If anybody has talked to Tracy in the last 3 or 4 days, if they would just contact the Grant County Sheriff's Office and make us aware of that, then that would help us resolve this incident quickly.
And just to repeat, you're not looking for him for any reasons except that his family wants you to.
Yes, his family, of course, they're very concerned, and all we're looking for him for is just to make sure that he is okay, and once we gain that information, then the case will be closed.
Tracy McDonald is 26 years of age. He is described as about 6'3" and about 150 pounds, with blue eyes and sandy blonde hair. And if you have any information, you're asked to call the Sheriff's Department at 259-8115. The year-end numbers have been tabulated, and they show that in 1992 it was the biggest year ever at Dead Horse Point State Park. The park, often referred to as the jewel of the state park system, hosted over 2,600 visitors in December, a big 34% increase over the same month of 1991. That brought the year-end figures in the park to almost 170,000 visitors. That's a full 20% more than a year earlier. For the last few years, the camping sites have been filled virtually every night, but still in 1992, the park shoehorned an additional 2% of overnight stays in the park. Park Superintendent Rock Smith announced that admission rates to the park will stay the same in 1993. It's $3 per private vehicle, up to 8 passengers. Larger vehicles and commercial tours will pay $1 per person, and the price of a campsite will stay at $7 per night for each vehicle. Services will be held Wednesday morning for Moab resident Dean Conde, who died Saturday at his home. He was 69 years of age. He was a longtime member of the National Association of Realtors and was recently elected president of the Grand and San Juan Association of Realtors. He is survived by his wife Nadine and son David of Moab, also sister Maxine Hymas and brothers Noel, Clyde, and George. A viewing will be held Wednesday morning from 10 to 11 a.m. at the Dish Funeral Home, and graveside services will follow at Sunset Memorial Cemetery. Up next is the Canyon Country weather forecast when Channel 6 News continues.
Hi, welcome to the Outdoors. For nearly 2 years, those words have begun my outdoor show. You know I care about our environment. As a candidate for the county council, I see environmental issues that need our attention. We need to clean up our disposal pits. We need to force the dismantling of the Atlas plant. We need more recycling and a safe dump. Won't you join with me in these efforts to make Grand County the best it can be?
Pick up a current copy of Moab Happenings for the latest information on activities, dining, school events, recreation, filled with pictures and maps, and it's free. Moab Happenings.
Bright blue skies stayed in the valley on Tuesday, with afternoon temperatures hovering around the 40-degree mark. Look for more sunshine to stay around for the next few days. Forecast for Moab and Canyon Country calls for sunny skies through Wednesday. Look for temperatures to warm up just a little bit, bringing us into the mid-40s for highs, overnight lows down to 25. Long-range forecast calls for some scattered clouds, but mostly blue skies through Thursday and through Saturday, with highs at around 45 degrees. And that's news from Moab and Canyon Country. I'm Dee Tranter reporting. Have a good day. Welcome to the Channel 6 News. I'm Dee Tranter reporting. The new president of the Chamber of Commerce says his group will become more active in local politics. And Moab Community Theater gets ready to open its latest big hit production. We'll have those stories when Channel 6 News continues.
The 50 More account at First Western. More perks, free checks, free checking, travel benefits, more security, $100,000 accidental death insurance, more convenience, direct deposit and notary service, all free with just a $100 balance. Or for no minimum balance and just $4 a month, join the 50 More Plus account for all these benefits. Plus, eyewear and pharmacy discounts, CD bonuses, safety deposit boxes, and more. The 50 More accounts at First Western National Bank.
I'm John Hartley, owner of the local Subway. I'm an at-large candidate for the county council. I have direct experience in planning for the needs of a small community. Before coming to Grand County, I was superintendent of operations and maintenance of the water utilities in Longmont, Colorado. I presently serve on the County Planning and Zoning Board, the County Board of Adjustments, and I'm the chairman of the City Board of Adjustments. A vote for me is a vote for experience.
Families in the West know what it takes to produce blue ribbon quality. We were raised on quality poultry, guaranteed fresh and USDA inspected. People still look for the best when they go to the market. It's a tradition, and the guarantee of getting your money's worth still stands for something at City Market, the best meat market in town.
The Chamber of Commerce is growing in members, and the new president of the group wants to grow in influence as well. That word comes from Tom Schellenberger, whose one-year term as head of the local chamber begins this month. Each week the chamber holds its luncheon meeting where guest speakers discuss local politics, economics, and social questions. The luncheons have grown in popularity and have helped educate both chamber members and others about the important city, county, and state issues. But Schellenberger would like to see the organization go further and have a direct political presence as a voice for the interests of local business.
My focus for this year is to get the chamber members more involved in meaningful things. And by that, I guess I mean involved with government. We have 183 members in the chamber now, which is a good-sized chamber of commerce for a town this size. And that's a big block of influence on that we can go to the city and the new county council and say, this is what the majority of the members are thinking on any one issue. If we can get a consensus, that's going to be the hardest thing.
One way to do that, he believes, is to set up what he calls a sort of oversight committee to serve as a bridge between elected officials and local merchants.
In talking to members, they say, why should I join the chamber? What's in it for me? I want to, after this year's up, people to say, it was important to be a member of the chamber because during this new county council government, we had a say-so. We attend meetings. We're going to have a committee made up of board members of the chamber and also chamber members that will go to every city council and every county council meeting and just monitor what's going on, make sure it's what the majority of our members want to have happen in their town.
But Schellenberger recognizes that deciding exactly how the chamber membership feels on any one issue isn't always that easy.
It's a tough thing to do because we have members that think one way and we have members that think another. We're not all united in how we feel at the chamber. So that's going to be the hard part, is knowing how to represent the chamber's membership.
Right now, the chamber has an office in the back of the UTEX building, not the most visible location, but this spring the chamber will move to the visitor center on North Main Street that currently houses the Travel Council.
Well, the obvious benefit is that people will know where the chamber is. Right now we're sitting in this office and I bet you nobody in the TV viewing audience knows where we are. So we're going to be visible. We're going to be accessible to our members. We're going to be accessible to the tourists that come to town. When you think about going to a different area you're unfamiliar with, first place you think to call is the Chamber of Commerce to get information. And even though we have a travel council and a visitor center in place here, we still get a lot of calls from out of state, people wanting information on the Canyonlands area. So we're going to staff and operate a visitor center. We don't want to compete with the visitor center that will be downtown here, but we want to supplement that. And people will be coming in anyway, so we will be handing out information, giving them advice on places to go.
Though many businesses and individuals are chamber members, the organization is always looking for new faces. If you'd like more information, you can call the Chamber of Commerce at 259-8531. Local residents have a chance to find out what the remaining candidates for the new county council think on Wednesday evening. The League of Women Voters will hold their candidates forum for the 2 candidates for Council District 4 and the 4 at-large candidates. Questions will come from both the League of Women Voters and from the audience members. The forum gets underway at 7 p.m. Wednesday evening at the Civic Center. Sometimes civilization can be confusing. That's what a deer learned Tuesday afternoon. The animal had wandered onto the LDS Ward property on 4th North to sample some of the grass on the other side of the fence. But once it made it over, it had some trouble remembering how to get back. The confusion began getting the deer a little agitated, but city and state officials gave a hand, opening the gate to allow the deer to head back to more familiar turf on the church orchards. What should parents look for when choosing a daycare center? We'll talk with the director of the Community Daycare Center in Moab, and we'll take a sneak preview of the Moab Community Theater's latest production, opening this Thursday when Channel 6 News continues.
I'm John Maynard, candidate for County Council. As a minister, it's my job to listen to people. I've helped people patch up their differences and help them decide on plans of action where everyone's a winner. As a member of the County Council, I'll listen to everyone, and I'll help this county move forward until we're all winners. But I need your vote in order to do that. Please join with me in the effort to make Grand County the very best it can be.
The Nike Air Moab, only at RIM.
In case you've been too busy to notice, McDonald's prices have changed. An original hamburger is just 59 cents, a cheeseburger just 69 cents, a sausage biscuit 79 cents. But if you're in a hurry, don't worry. Because this is not a promotion. It's McDonald's today. And from now on.
Wednesday has been declared Quality Child Care Day in Utah by the state legislature. As single-parent families and parents who both work become more and more the norm in society, attention is focusing on providing the care for children during working hours. That was the theme of Tuesday's Chamber of Commerce luncheon speaker, Jerry Frederick. She's the director of the Community Child Care Center, the biggest daycare provider in Moab. The center is affiliated with the Community Baptist Church and uses church facilities. Frederick told Channel 6 what the state of Utah looks for in quality child care.
A place that you feel like you can take your children and they will be safe, and that there is a safe environment. There's educational toys provided for children. It's not just a babysitting service. The state of Utah, the Office of Child Care, is trying to draw attention to the fact that we need money for training of our staff to be more professional about what we're doing here.
The Community Child Care Center is open all day long to meet the schedule of working parents, and parents are taking advantage of it.
Last year, from March through October, we had about 75 children per week coming to the Child Care Center. Most of those children are part-timers, and therefore we have so many. We try not to run above a 1 to 8 ratio here, so we try to keep about 25 children here throughout the day.
Many parents worry about the quality of care their children are getting during the day. Frederick says she understands and encourages acting on that concern.
Oh, we welcome parents to come in and take a look at our facility, see what we have going on, and to observe for a while. We do welcome that. And in a child care provider, even in a home, you should be able to walk into that home or that center at any time and note what's going on and be welcomed in.
She also explained some of the things parents should look for when they choose a child care provider.
If you're looking for a child care center, look around and see what the facility is like. Are there little electrical plugs in the sockets? Simple things like that. Ask if there's a high staff turnover, and if there is, why is it? Child care is a low-paying industry right now, and it could simply be the low pay, but it could be a stressful environment. I think the child-to-care provider ratio is very important to look at. That relieves a lot of stress on not only the children that are coming, but also the staff that are trying to provide services to their children, and pay attention to your child.
And for information on the Community Child Care Center, you can call 259-6984. It's coming up on opening night for Moab Community Theater. Here's Ken Davey with a report.
We're here at Star Hall as the Moab Community Theater gets ready for another opening night of another play. The troupe, which over the years has put on classic American and world theater productions, as well as original one-act plays written here in Moab, this year is taking on a particular challenge, one of the funniest but one of the most difficult plays to produce. The play is Noises Off by Michael Thane. It was a smash success when it opened on the London stage about a decade ago before moving to Broadway to become a long-running hit. It's directed here by Susan Jameson, who has the difficult task of coordinating the rapid-fire dialogue and split-second slapstick timing of the wildly funny play. The ensemble cast is a mix of MCT regulars and newcomers. Don Kiffmeyer and Khaki Hunter headlined the MCT production of The 7-Year Itch 2 years ago. They are joined by first-time MCT member Ron Green. And thrown into the mix are Rick Fulham, Lucy Wallingford, Mary Mullen, Joe Lakarzik, Suzette Weisheit, and Randy Evans. The play is a challenge, one that the performers are looking forward to.
Well, I saw it on Broadway in about 1985 or 86, and I think it's just the physical comedy. You know, it just is kind of like a cross between some old Marx Brothers type kind of comedy where people are going in and out of doors simultaneously, and, you know, that sort of thing. And the writing, it's very clever and witty.
I've worked with a lot of directors, Lloyd. You know, and some of them are geniuses and some of them are bastards, but I've never met one who is just so totally and absolutely, I don't know.
Thank you, Gary. I'm very touched. Now you get off the bloody stage!
The thing that impelled me to audition for the play was that I had been on the stage before from time to time in the past. And also, I read the play. It sounded like an interesting play. I'd heard of it before, and I went to the library and checked out a copy to read, and I thought, and the character that I finally ended up playing hit me between the eyes. Hey, I said, that's me.
They say it was very dirty and rather smelly, and I thought,
Thank
oh
you,
my
Poppy.
God, because when you get close to Selson, no, I mean when you get anywhere near Selson, you can't help but notice this very distinctive.
I'll tell you something, Poppy. Once you've got it in your nostrils, you never forget it. 60 years now, and the smell of the theater still haunts me.
Oh, bless him.
What is the biggest challenge in doing this play?
The whole thing. We've got, this is probably the most complicated play I can think of. It's 3 acts long. It's a farce within a farce, which means most of the actors are playing 2 roles. Lots of door flapping, lots of physical cues. Practically more than half of Act 2 is physical cues, so there's a lot of memorization involved. We're also working with 9 actors, which is, the more actors you get, the more difficult it is. The more parts there are, the more you depend on each other.
Good woman, you know. Dawson, so up and down. She was perfectly all right last night.
Last night?
Yes, she took me for a drink after the show in some club she knows about.
She was with you? You were with her?
She was being very sympathetic about all my troubles.
She's not going to sink her teeth into you. I won't let her.
No, she couldn't have been nicer. In fact, she came back to my digs afterwards for a cup of tea and told me all her troubles.
I enjoy it. I enjoy acting for the sheer joy of acting itself, and I don't care whether I'm getting paid for it or not. If anything, this gives me an opportunity to work in ways that I would not normally get.
Right. We won't bother to chill the champagne.
All these doors!
Oh, only a handful, really. Study, kitchens, and a self-contained service flat for the housekeeper.
And which one is the...
What?
You know.
Oh, through here.
Fantastic. Now on.
Noises Off opens Thursday and runs Thursday through Saturday this weekend and next. The curtain goes up at 7:30 each evening, and tickets are available at the door. No entertainment matches a top-notch performance of a classic stage comedy, so get down to Star Hall and prepare to enjoy yourself. This is Ken Davey for Channel 6.
Up next is the Canyon Country weather forecast when Channel 6 News continues. John Fogg at Central Utah Insurance is your agent on the scene and behind the scene to make sure you get prompt, efficient response to your insurance claims. John Fogg at Central Utah Insurance, your independent insurance agent, the agent who works for you.
Hello, my name is Paul Menard, candidate for County Council District Number 3. What do I have to offer? Common sense, independent viewpoints, full-time commitment. I'm eager to be involved in our new government and to involve you. I will work to preserve and protect our quality of life while diversifying our economic base. Vote for cooperation, independent thinking, and true representation on our new county council. Vote for Paul Menard, County Council District Number 3 on February 9. Thank you.
For the best RV camp park in Moab, it's Holiday Haven, with oversized spaces to accommodate the largest RV and cool, comfortable tent sites under mature shade trees, all with a convenient central location. Holiday Haven is also Moab's finest mobile home park that offers country living in the city, an established park with pool, playground, laundry facilities, and a retired section. For comfortable RV or mobile home living, it's Holiday Haven, 400 North, 5th West.
Bright sunshine stayed in the valley on Wednesday with afternoon highs climbing into the mid-40s. And look for more great winter weather through the rest of this week. The forecast for Moab and Canyon Country calls for blue skies through Thursday and into Friday. Afternoon thermometer readings could climb into the 50s with overnight lows around 25 degrees. And if you're planning ahead for the weekend, expect partly sunny days with mercury readings around 50 degrees. And that's the news of Moab and Canyon Country. I'm Dee Tranter reporting. You know, Moab is a popular destination for tourists during the spring and summer, but some travelers prefer the peace and solitude of a Moab winter. So let's take a look at some of our favorite winter visitors. Welcome to the Channel 6 News. I'm Dee Tranter reporting. Candidates for the County Council face off at the League of Women Voters Forum. And Helen M. Knight students graduate from the DARE program. We'll have those stories when Channel 6 News continues.
First Western National Bank announces Common Sense Checking. It has all the benefits like free checks, unlimited checking, accidental death insurance, safe deposit boxes, etc. But Common Sense has more. Credit card protection, a $500 emergency cash advance service, key ring protection, and a discount program to save you up to 50% on lodging worldwide and other great travel discounts. So why did First Western expand your banking benefits? Common sense. First Western National Bank, your hometown bank in Moab.
Hello, my name is Paul Menard, candidate for County Council District Number 3. Some of you don't know me. Well, I'll confess, I'm from the silent majority. But the change in form of government has given me the opportunity to get involved. I will no longer be silent. You, the voters of Council District Number 3, will have a voice in your county. We will be in touch with each other. I will be your voice. Please elect Paul Menard on February 9th, County Council District Number 3. Thank you.
Furnace not heating like it used to? Get the Trane 2-stage 80 furnace with a low speed for mild conditions and a high speed for extreme cold. It heats your home evenly, efficiently, and quietly. It's hard to stop a Trane.
Your Trane dealer in Moab is Nelson's Heating and Refrigeration.
I'm John Maynard, candidate for County Council. Our county faces a critical future. We need sound health care. We need to have our tax dollars spent where they benefit the greatest number of people. I want to help attract clean, new industry to the area. I want to see more cooperation between our governmental agencies. But I can't do these things without your vote. Please join with me in an effort to make Grand County the best it can be.
It was the final League of Women Voters Candidates Forum Wednesday evening. Those running for County Council District 4 were on hand, as were the 4 running for the 2 at-large seats. The League prepared a few questions of their own, as well as taking some from the audience. Topics range from the need to hold an outside audit of county finances to what the county can and should do about the plan to bury radioactive tailing pile at the Atlas plant. Grand County has grown in recent years with an influx of new businesses and a big jump in tourism. What should be the county's policy toward growth? Candidates for the 4th District Council seat gave their views.
I hope that we do continue growing, and I hope that we do control to a certain extent, because, well, we can't stretch out too far because we don't have that much room. But our tax base has already been enlarged with the growth with the new motels and the new McDonald's and all these that are coming in now. And I would hope that we could just continue slowly growing, maybe get an industry or 2 in to help us out.
What we need to do is be sure that with all this interest in Moab, we're diversifying our economy. I think it would be really nice if we had a symphony instead of a one-man band for a change. And so I would like to see us trying to attract light industry that was based on the quality of our lifestyle here, people who came here because they said, look at that, that's a community that's working to improve its schools, that's working on its health care, that's having a tourist boom but is trying to maintain the affordability of their town, a community that's had the foresight to set aside open land in their town. I think there are many things that we can do to attract the kind of new businesses here that we want that will give us diversity.
Earlier this week, Channel 6 reported that Grand County was called by Columbia Oil to the Big Flats area to repair a 9-mile-long road the company needed to get it graveled to allow their tanker trucks to transport crude. Candidates for the at-large seat gave their views on providing that kind of county activity.
How much seed money will the county give to the oil industry? Right now, the county is spending big money on roads specifically for the oil companies. How much is appropriate?
I don't know how much is being spent or how much is being requested. I do know that the oil production will be a long-term asset to the county. And if we have to put a little help up front, and I understand in any roads that are developed or redeveloped or improved, that the state participates in some of those funds, because it is to the state's advantage to have the oil production as well as it is to the counties. And I think those things would have to be determined as they come up on an individual basis.
I don't look at it as seed money as far as the road that's being done up on Dead Horse Point for the 9 miles to get the oil out. I call that a lack of planning. I mean, basically those kinds of roads need to be dealt with in the summertime so that you can have all your round travel if you're going to need that. And it's not hard to figure out if you're drilling a well out there and you strike oil that you're going to be trying to get oil out there in the wintertime. I think the county can work with the oil companies to help maintain the roads so that we can generate revenue, tax bases, and all that from the oil companies. I think it has to be an appropriate balance because you're talking about a relationship between private industry and government.
Seed money ought to come to us, I think. We have a problem with employee housing for the motels and businesses in this town. So I don't know that we need to encourage the oil companies by offering them money. I think that as far as the road goes, I was appalled to hear that we as a county determined that road was priority #1 for road work just because the oil company went out there and tore up our road. I have a problem with anybody coming in here and doing that kind of damage to make something unusable or impassable, and we roll over and say, oh, well, we'll come out and fix it. I think that at least we ought to be able to send them a bill for partial repair on that road.
Of course, my opinion would be pretty much the same. I think if the oil companies are willing to build roads to oil fields, they ought to be able to at least help repair roads that they tear up, and we should go to them for support on improving the roads or bringing them back up to a standard that they can get back and forth across. I don't think that we should just, as John said, roll over and play dead whenever they ask for it, and yet if it's a situation where they're not prepared to do that, other than maybe just paying money to us, that we still put our machinery out and do it so that the oil extraction can go right on.
Channel 6 will broadcast the forum in its entirety on February 3rd and February 8th at 7 p.m. each night. In addition, the League Forum for the candidates in the other council district will be broadcast February 2nd and 4th. What is the architectural style and what guidelines or requirements should Moab impose on new buildings? That's a sticky question the City Planning Commission is about to discuss. When you look around town, you see all kinds of buildings in all kinds of styles, and commercial buildings are just as diverse, with some old and restored, others needing work, mixed in with new structures, all of different styles. Some people believe that architectural guidelines are needed to protect the character and property values of the city. Other people believe that diversity adds to the character of Moab. And still others believe it doesn't matter because the government should keep its nose out of the whole thing. What exactly are architectural guidelines and limits? Are they needed in Moab, and who should determine what those limits will be? The Planning Commission will begin exploring some of those questions this Thursday evening at the regular meeting. It takes place at 7 p.m. at the Red Rock Elementary School. Services will be held in Bluff Saturday for longtime Southeast Utah resident Rudy Cook, who died last week. He was 52 years of age. Rudy was a San Juan County Deputy Sheriff and medical examiner for almost 2 decades. The services will be held Saturday morning at 10 a.m. at the St. Christopher's Church in Bluff. The state of Utah tells local contractors they have to be licensed, and students graduate from the Drug Abuse Resistance Education Program. We'll have those stories when Channel 6 News continues. If you're looking for luxury and value, Certified Ford has a deal for you. It's the latest in comfort and style. The 1992 Ford Crown Victoria LX, loaded with extras, including power steering, power windows, cruise control, and much, much more. 3 low-mile models are in stock for the low price of just $16,995. So come on down to Certified Ford, 500 South Main, your hometown dealer in Moab.
It's breakfast time. You're long on hunger, but short on change. What can you get for $1.89? How about this? Or this? Now it's lunch. How much you got? Lunch for $1.89? Golden Steak, your special place, every day of the week.
Families in the West know what it takes to produce blue ribbon quality. We were raised on quality poultry, guaranteed fresh and USDA inspected. People still look for the best when they go to the market. It's a tradition, and the guarantee of getting your money's worth still stands for something at City Market, the best meat market in town.
When you need a gift, come to Sherry's Country Store Gifts. A country store doesn't just mean country-style goods, it means a store stocked with items to satisfy the needs of the people. Sherry's carries on that tradition by offering a wide selection of gifts for any age, presented in a warm country store atmosphere. So come on in and browse, or grab a treat and set a spell on the green benches of Sherry's Country Store Gifts in the Western Plaza.
In less than 2 weeks, Grand County residents will make history when they elect a new Grand County Council to carry through the change of government. And the county clerk's office wants to make sure every resident has a chance to cast a vote. When you go to the polls, you can cast votes for 2 at-large candidates for the council and 1 candidate in your district. And because of the district elections, it's very important that all registered voters be registered in their current address. If you've moved since you last registered, you may find your vote will not be accepted. So the clerk's office urges you to check with their office to determine where you are officially listed on the voter rolls and give you the opportunity to update your registration. But time is running out. Voter registration and registration changes for the February 9th election will end at the close of business on Friday, January 29th. You can go to the clerk's office in the temporary courthouse building behind the old City Market building to make the changes. And for information, you can call the clerk's office at 259-5645. Contractors working without the proper licenses were put on warning this week by the state of Utah. An investigator from the State Department of Business Licensing was in Moab Wednesday and Thursday, visiting construction sites and checking to be sure the work is being done according to state licensing laws. The investigator has the power to issue citations and to initiate civil actions and even criminal cases if warranted. According to the investigator, most contractors he ran into were licensed, but there were reports of 4 individuals who were at least warned that they were not legally licensed. According to the Department of Business Licensing, the state doesn't have enough staff to follow up on potential violations. A department spokesperson said his office relies on other licensed contractors who have followed through on their legal requirements to police those who ignore the law. It was a big day at the Helen M. Knight School as the 6th grade classes all celebrated their graduation from the DARE program. DARE stands for Drug Abuse Resistance Education, a special program sponsored by Moab City to help turn the tide against substance abuse. All too often, drug abuse is a result of peer pressure, youngsters feeling they'll be outcasts if they don't go along with the crowd. The DARE program stresses self-esteem and confidence as the best weapons against the problem. Each week, Moab police officers Mike Navarre and Craig Bowen spend a day helping the sixth graders learn that they have the strength and power to make their own decisions. Elisa Weeks, Lisa Knight, Courtney Rapp, and Jennifer Lopez were honored for prize-winning essays on the topic, and the students performed skits and music on the theme of thinking for yourself.
Many people die from taking drugs. Some people lose their families, jobs, and health from drug addiction. Many people commit crimes to get money to buy drugs. The DARE program teaches kids about the harmful things drugs can do to your life. I hope I can stay involved in DARE and be a good example for kids.
Drug abuse and alcohol use can lead to a life that's not so cute. Drugs and alcohol are not good for you. They kill brain cells, of which you only have a few.
DARE teaches a lesson on drug abuse. Some things I've learned about drugs are how to say no and how to handle the pressure that's put on you when you're asked to try something.
It means that drugs can really mess up your mind and body. Not only can it mess up your mind and body, but you're taking the risk of hurting yourself or someone else. DARE is a special program which teaches the students the truth about drugs.
Check us out, school get tough. We have to get along and subscribe. We're trying our best, we're here to say that we're kids hip is the only way. Now look all around at this school. You're in as a boy with a smile, that girl with the grin.
All the students who completed the program were awarded special certificates showing the schools and the police department's appreciation. The driving force in the city's effort to establish the DARE program has been Council Member Terry Warner. He was singled out for a particular appreciation.
He's donated time to this program, and now I can say this, he wouldn't let me the last time, but he's donated his wages from City Council. He gives me money from his company, and it's just a 100% support of this program. So the kids got something for him, and it's signed by the entire sixth grade, by the way. It says, love you a whole bunch, Mr. Warner, and it says, it is very easy to give lip service to causes or programs. However, it's very rare when an individual actually puts his money where his mouth is. In appreciation of your generosity and support for the DARE program, the sixth grade and staff at HMK, thank you. Signed by the teachers and all the students.
The Moab Community Theater production of the hit London and Broadway play Noises Off opens Thursday evening. It's a classic play within a play, mixing sophisticated, witty dialogue and broad physical comedy. The story follows a slightly seedy theater company fighting a losing battle to put on their own play. The play won major theater awards, and it marks one of the most ambitious projects ever for MCT. That's Noises Off, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights over the next 2 weekends, with the curtain going up at 7:30 p.m. each evening. Tickets are available at the door. Up next is the Canyon Country weather forecast when Channel 6 News continues.
I'm Delbert Oliver, a lifetime resident of Grand County. The decisions of the new county council will affect my future and the future of my family. In protecting our future, I'll be protecting your future. I would appreciate your vote on February the 9th for Councilman at Large. Thank you.
A lot of people come to Subway for big food. They're in for a shock when they see our new 79-cent round sandwiches, not just because of their shape, but because it's pretty amazing to think you can get a delicious sandwich on fresh baked bread for only 79 cents. They're perfect for people who don't want to pay a lot to eat with one hand. 79 cents, not since you were a little kid has your lunch money jingled.
For more information on the new 79-cent sandwiches, bring your appetite to the Subway near you.
I'm John Hartley, owner of the local Subway. I'm an at-large candidate for the county council. I have direct experience in planning for the needs of a small community. Before coming to Grand County, I was superintendent of operations and maintenance of the water utilities in Longmont, Colorado. I presently serve on the County Planning and Zoning Board, the County Board of Adjustments, and I'm the chairman of the City Board of Adjustments. A vote for me is a vote for experience.
Brighten up your wardrobe this season with a special look from On the Edge. Striking sweaters for her and comfortable flannel shirts in light and heavy weights. Top them off with a wide variety of leather and denim coats. Look sharp this fall with activewear from On the Edge.
Bright blue skies kept valley temperature readings in the mid-40s on Thursday. High in the mountains, some clouds dropped some snow, but at lower altitudes it stayed dry. Look for a few clouds, but dry days over the weekend. The forecast for Moab and Canyon Country calls for partly cloudy skies through Friday, with afternoon highs in the mid-40s, overnight lows down to around 25. By Saturday and Sunday, look for more clouds, but still dry, highs again in the mid-40s. And the long-range forecast calls for a chance of some scattered snow showers by Monday. And that's news of Moab and Canyon Country. I'm Dee Tranter reporting. Have a good day.
Welcome to the Channel 6 News. I'm Andrea Castellanos reporting. The Board of Education wants the community to plan the development of new schools and community facilities. We'll have that story when the Channel 6 News continues.
Families in the West know what it takes to produce blue ribbon quality. We were raised on quality poultry, guaranteed fresh and USDA inspected. People still look for the best when they go to the market. It's a tradition, and the guarantee of getting your money's worth still stands for something at City Market, the best meat market in town.
I'm John Hartley, owner of the local Subway. I'm an at-large candidate for the County Council. I have direct experience in planning for the needs of a small community. Before coming to Grand County, I was superintendent of operations and maintenance of the water utilities in Longmont, Colorado. I presently serve on the County Planning and Zoning Board, the County Board of Adjustments, and I'm the chairman of the City Board of Adjustments. A vote for me is a vote for experience.
First Western National Bank announces Common Sense Checking. It has all the benefits like free checks, unlimited checking, accidental death insurance, safe deposit boxes, etc. But Common Sense has more. Credit card protection, a $500 emergency cash advance service, key ring protection, and a discount program to save you up to 50% on lodging worldwide and other great travel discounts. So why did First Western expand your banking benefits? Common sense. First Western National Bank, your hometown bank in Moab.
Hi, welcome to the outdoors. For nearly 2 years, those words have begun my outdoor show. You know I care about our environment. As a candidate for the County Council, I see environmental issues that need our attention. We need to clean up our disposal pits. We need to force the dismantling of the Atlas plant. We need more recycling and a safe dump. Won't you join with me in these efforts to make Grand County the best it can be?
The school board wants your ideas on designing future schools. Here's Ken Davey with a report.
The Grand County School District wants the community to design and plan a major construction project in the future. That word came from the Board of Education, which has enlisted the help of architectural consultants to look at how to best plan school expansion. Last year, the school board purchased 44 acres of land behind the current high school, between Mill and Pack Creeks, and extending all the way to 4th East. According to school board member Carrie Bailey, the purchase was made with future school needs in mind.
Well, the board bought this property knowing that the community needed to look to the future because our middle school is old, has handicap access problems. It has some other safety problems that we need to address and heating problems. Our high school is starting to be overcrowded. We're short rooms. We have nowhere to feed our kids at the high school. We have no auditorium facilities. And so as far as the timing goes on this, we're actually in the preliminary stages where we bought the property, and now we're asking the community to look to the future and help us decide what we need to do.
But the board wants to make sure that this time a major public construction project takes into account other community needs as well. So they are opening up their planning process to the community. What sort of schools are needed? What sort of playgrounds and ball fields? How about a community center? According to School Superintendent Rich Averett, another idea has also been discussed.
What could we do here to make this community more viable? One of the discussions centered on the fact that many years ago the city library, county library, and school library were one and the same. Could we do the same thing here, thereby making more room for the museum downtown and providing the library here the services we have at our high school right now, which is with CD-ROM and some of the more new technological events. In addition, what else might we have out here that would lend itself to a school site and yet a community functioning structure as well?
So the district will hold a special 3-day planning session February 18th through the 20th, where local residents can present their ideas on what they would like to see happen.
We would invite people to come in, especially on the 18th, to talk to the planner, talk to the architect, give their ideas. On the 19th, they'll be actually working in the district office itself, making sketches, drawing up what's been suggested to them. On the 20th, we would invite the public back to take a look at all their inputs and give even further input and say, yes, this makes sense, or no, we ought to change this.
Heading up the project will be landscape planner David Bell, who told Channel 6 he and architect Anthony Wegener expect to take their lead from local residents.
Everybody in town that's been here for very long probably has some feelings about this piece of property that are fairly strong feelings to them, and hopefully we can pull some of those feelings out and understand them and deal with them and incorporate some of those things into this project.
Who's going to design this center?
We think that the community should design the center. We don't come down here with all the answers. We come down here as facilitators, hopefully to get as much input of the vision and the interests of this community as possible, and then just synthesize that and put it together and present it back to the community to see if that's what they had in mind.
On the land is the old farmhouse, and there is a hope that it could be restored as a cultural and historical landmark. And how the city, county, and both Utah State Extension and the College of Eastern Utah can be involved in the project is still being looked at. But the architects say the site has the potential to be a model for the rest of the state.
This site, which is a gorgeous site, absolutely incredible site, flanked by creeks on both sides, and with great opportunity. And so we want first of all to see if there is some community vision for the site that could be expressed in a master plan, such that when the monies are available and the community is willing, that it could be developed and become really a community center.
The school district will let people know how they can get involved in the planning meetings next month, and in the meantime they invite you to look at the site and start coming up with ideas.
Well, obviously, because there are cattle in here right now, they want to watch where they walk. But it's available for people to just stop along the edge of the road and take a look, and perhaps as they pull up in back of the football field to look from that angle, because it's from 4th East all the way over to the current high school boundary. So it's available, it's open. People should see what it is that we have purchased in their behalf.
This is Ken Davey for Channel 6.
Allen Memorial Hospital is just about ready to open a temporary office for a local doctor. And the new head of the Department of the Interior says national parks will be a high priority. We'll have those stories when the Channel 6 News continues.
Furnace not heating like it used to? Get the Trane 2-stage 80 furnace with a low speed for mild conditions and a high speed for extreme cold. It heats your home evenly, efficiently, and quietly. It's hard to stop a Trane.
Your Trane dealer in Moab is Nelson's Heating and Refrigeration.
Pick up a current copy of Moab Happenings for the latest information on activities, dining, school events, recreation, filled with pictures and maps, and it's free. Moab Happenings.
I'm Delbert Oliver. I grew up here in Grand County. I've experienced over 60 years of change. I would like to share that experience and be involved in the new form of county government. Please vote for me on February the 9th. Your support will be greatly appreciated.
The Grand County Sheriff's Department is still looking for information on the disappearance of a Moab resident. Tracy McDonald was last seen 1 week ago. The Sheriff's Office, at the behest of the family, is asking anyone who has seen the missing man since last Friday to give them a call. McDonald is described as 6'3", 150 pounds, with blue eyes and blonde hair. And anyone with information is asked to call the Sheriff's Department at 259-8115. Political pressure is thought to have motivated the State Land Board to go against what for years they say is their own mandate. Earlier this week, the board decided against a recommendation from their own staff to begin selling off parcels of state trust land in the Book Cliffs for vacation cabins and for mineral development. The Land Board, which has been criticized in the past for selling land below its value, has stated that they believe they are required to gain the most revenues for education. But 2 years ago, the board faced heavy pressure after a decision to investigate selling land within national parks, until the governor directed them to withdraw that plan. The Book Cliffs land is scattered through excellent hunting areas, and there have been calls to leave the land undisturbed. Plans by Allen Memorial Hospital to construct a temporary office on former orchard lands across from the hospital are moving forward. That's the word from Hospital Administrator Kim Hardman, who told Channel 6 what the office will look like.
It's called a modular office building. It's a heavier construction. It's certainly, although it comes up like a trailer does on wheels and stuff, it's a 6-inch walls, slanted roofs, that type of thing. It's been built to be an office for a doctor, and we're bringing it on up for that basis.
Now, what does it look like now as far as the schedule goes for having it actually opening and functioning?
Hopefully we'll be able to get some little foundation poured over there, and it has been reported out of Phoenix the building's ready to be moved out, and so as soon as we can get this all straightened out, we should have it up here, I'm hoping within about 2 weeks at the most.
The structure will become office space for Dr. Rand Waddingham, who moved to Moab last summer. But office space at that time was just not available, and Waddingham was forced to operate his private practice out of the hospital. The hospital board decided to construct the temporary office across the street on land that is outside city limits. But some city officials believe that the Moab water and sewer hookups should be going only to structures within Moab itself. Hardman says, as far as he knows, annexing the property into Moab should not be a problem.
When we met with the board meeting the other night, it was the first time it really ever became an issue for the board, and I don't think the board had any problem with annexation at some time. I think the issue is this wasn't being perceived as development. This was an issue of being perceived as a temporary office space that is much needed here. And we have tried to find additional space and just couldn't do it. So it is certainly not even our best solution. It's something a doctor doesn't want to be in this small modular. You know, he'd prefer to be in a nicer building, but it was something we just felt had to be done. So it was a temporary move. I think when development occurs, without question, if that ever even does happen, because there are no future plans, that I don't think they'll have any problem annexing.
The office would be used by Waddingham on only a temporary basis while he looks for a permanent private practice location. And Hardman says the extra office space can be put to good use.
We always need office space, and we just felt that if nothing else, maybe we can use it someplace else at a further time. And we felt that we could even come out ahead if we just ended up selling it later or whatever might be the case.
The new Secretary of the Interior plans to increase operational budgets for national parks, and that will be good news for the parks here. Bruce Babbitt told reporters in Washington that he believes deteriorating conditions at the parks have to be reversed. In recent years, money was made available for expanding facilities, but cutbacks were ordered in maintenance, and the end result was staff reductions and increasing impacts. But Babbitt says that will change, and that the parks will be restored to better conditions. Up next is the Canyon Country weather forecast when the Channel 6 News continues.
Hello, my name is Paul Menard, candidate for County Council District Number 3. What do I have to offer? Common sense, independent viewpoints, full-time commitment. I'm eager to be involved in our new government and to involve you. I will work to preserve and protect our quality of life while diversifying our economic base. Vote for cooperation, independent thinking, and true representation on our new county council. Vote for Paul Menard, County Council District Number 3 on February 9. Thank you.
If you're looking for luxury and value, Certified Ford has a deal for you. It's the latest in comfort and style, the 1992 Ford Crown Victoria LX, loaded with extras, including power steering, power windows, cruise control, and much, much more. 3 low-mile models are in stock for the low price of just $16,995. So come on down to Certified Ford, 500 South Main, your hometown dealer in Moab.
It's still January, but we could see some big crowds in town over the weekend. Employees at the Grand County Travel Council say they have been inundated with phone calls from Wasatch Front residents asking what the weather is down here. And it's been great. Sunny skies stayed in the valley on Friday, with afternoon temperatures climbing into the middle 40s. The forecast for Moab and Canyonlands calls for mostly sunny skies through Sunday. Thermometer readings ranging from the mid-40s down to overnight readings around 25. And the long-range forecast calls for a chance of some scattered showers at high elevations on Monday and Tuesday, but again, a lot of sunshine and readings around 45. And that's the news of Moab and Canyon Country. I'm Andrea Castellanos reporting.
Welcome to the Channel 6 News. I'm Dee Tranter reporting. The County Commission says wait on a project to pave the parking lot at the old Spanish Trail Arena. And the body of a Moab man missing for more than a week was found on Saturday. We'll have those stories when Channel 6 News continues.
The 50 More account at First Western. More perks, free checks, free checking, travel benefits, more security, $100,000 accidental death insurance, more convenience, direct deposit and notary service, all free with just a $100 balance. Or for no minimum balance and just $4 a month, join the 50 More Plus account for all these benefits. Plus, eyewear and pharmacy discounts, CD bonuses, safety deposit boxes, and more. The 50 More accounts at First Western National Bank.
Hi, welcome to the Outdoors. For nearly 2 years, those words have begun my outdoor show. You know I care about our environment. As a candidate for the County Council, I see environmental issues that need our attention. We need to clean up our disposal pits. We need to force the dismantling of the Atlas plant. We need more recycling and a safe dump. Won't you join with me in these efforts to make Grand County the best it can be?
B. Osborne's is the most complete bookstore in southeast Utah. Your complete bookstore for magazines, books, maps, special orders from anywhere, magazines from Europe, newspapers from major cities of the U.S. Need a special gift for that person on your list who is hard to please? Get a gift certificate from B. Osborne's and let them please themselves. B. Osborne's Books and Magazines, 50 South Main in Moab, your bookstore and more.
I'm John Hartley, owner of the local Subway. I'm an at-large candidate for the county council. I have direct experience in planning for the needs of a small community. Before coming to Grand County, I was superintendent of operations and maintenance of the water utilities in Longmont, Colorado. I presently serve on the County Planning and Zoning Board, the County Board of Adjustments, and I'm the chairman of the City Board of Adjustments. A vote for me is a vote for experience.
Moab resident Tracy McDonald was found dead Saturday, 8 days after he disappeared. According to the Grand County Sheriff's Department, he was found by youngsters hiking near Pack Creek. Last week, the Sheriff's Department asked the public to help them find McDonald and followed up on reports but were not able to locate him. The cause of death remains undetermined, pending further tests. But the Sheriff's Office says there was no evidence of violence. Tracy is survived by his wife, Sherry, mother, Dorothy, son, David, daughter, Jessica, and stepson, Sean, all of Moab, as well as brothers Rex of Arizona and Jay Stevens of Moab. Services will be held Wednesday at 1 p.m. at the LDS Church on 4th North. A viewing will be held at the church 1 hour before the services, and on Tuesday evening from 7 to 9 p.m. at the Dish Funeral Home. The Grand County Commission decided that paving the parking lot around the old Spanish Trail Arena will have to wait. That was the word Monday at the commission meeting. The area around the arena is muddy and sloppy during the winter and spring, and dusty and pitted during the dry summer. According to area manager Sandy Bastian, the lack of paving makes it harder to bring in events to the arena.
I think in all fairness to the facility and to the people of Grand County, if you don't do some improvements as far as getting into the facility, like we have a gentleman coming down from the northern part of the state in February to look at the facility and to do a series of country and western concerts this spring, summer, and fall. And, you know, he's coming in February. If the weather is like it is today and he has to tromp through the mud, you know, your first impression of the facility is going to be a big one. Rather, I tried to explain to him, well, you know, and hopefully in this summer we're not going to have a big rainstorm or whatever.
We understand.
So
But Commission Chairman Manuel Torres explained that in his mind, the county has other higher priorities at this time.
We are going to spend a lot of dollars on that facility this year, and I have a hard time justifying spending any more dollars on that facility in 1 year. I mean, that's my feelings. And I think that you need to put this on hold for a while because there's some things that are going to be important to Grand County.
The commission did, however, approve spending about $18,000 to construct a snack bar inside the arena. In other business, Georgia Hamblin complained that she, and not Mary Jo Chamberlain, should have been appointed to the Southeast Utah District Health Board.
The individual that was appointed never applied. The individual who recommended that person wrote it on letterhead paper and gave Peter Haney, one of the commissioners, the impression that this was the Board of Health's recommendation. And when, in fact, I became before the commission in December at the urgency of Sam Cunningham, who was on that health board representing the county, and told to come before the commission for that reappointment because the health board recommended that I do that.
The board oversees the health department in this part of the state. Commissioner Peter Haney said he thought a letter of recommendation from District Sanitarian Jim Adamson represented the feelings of the board.
The full impression that it was the board that made the recommendation here, and it has turned out that that wasn't the case, that the board has encouraged the reappointment of Georgia to this seat, and that since the county, for whatever reasons, there was supposed to be an application process that never occurred, I would like to go through that now.
But Commissioners Torres and Bartlett decided to stay with Chamberlain. The county has changed attorneys in the JB Ranch litigation. The county is suing to reopen a road across the ranch. Robert Anderson, former county attorney Lyle Anderson's father, had been the county's lawyer, but decided to withdraw after Lyle was appointed district judge in the area. A new attorney, R. Martineau of Salt Lake City, was hired. The commission also, maybe, hired former county attorney Elaine Coates to do some work on a suit against the county brought by a former employee who claimed Coates should not have laid her off from her job 6 years ago.
Okay, we have hired Elaine for maybe 1 or 2 hours to come up with certain documents that we need as a county. And what will she be paid, her hourly rate?
Which is?
I have no idea.
So you hired her, but you don't know what you're going to pay her?
I'm sure that she'll be fair.
Peter, do you want to go on record saying you hired someone and you don't know what you're going to pay?
No, and that's been my complaint all along. So I would like to know what she's going to be paid. She's worked for us before. Before she does this work, let's get a hold of her and find out what
When
she's
did you make this
charged.
decision to hire her?
When did we make this decision? We'll make that decision today.
Okay.
Do it right now.
10 minutes ago you already did, so you didn't make it already.
Well, not publicly.
And county employees will now be part of the county pension plan from the day they are hired. In the past, the county had waited 6 months before putting them in the program, but were told by state officials to begin on the day the hiring began. The Moab Fire Department is looking to expand its facilities and will need a vote of the people to do it. We'll have that story when Channel 6 News continues. John Fogg at Central Utah Insurance is your agent on the scene and behind the scene to make sure you get prompt, efficient response to your insurance claims. John Fogg at Central Utah Insurance, your independent insurance agent, the agent who works for you.
Hello, my name is Paul Menard, candidate for County Council District Number 3. What do I have to offer? Common sense, independent viewpoints, full-time commitment. I'm eager to be involved in our new government and to involve you. I will work to preserve and protect our quality of life while diversifying our economic base. Vote for cooperation, independent thinking, and true representation on our new county council. Vote for Paul Menard, County Council District Number 3 on February 9. Thank you.
It's breakfast time. You're long on hunger, but short on change. What can you get for $1.89? How about this? Or this? Now it's lunch. How much you got? Lunch for $1.89? Golden Steak, your special place, every day of the week.
When you need a gift, come to Sherry's Country Store Gifts. A country store doesn't just mean country-style goods, it means a store stocked with items to satisfy the needs of the people. Sherry's carries on that tradition by offering a wide selection of gifts for any age, presented in a warm country store atmosphere. So come on in and browse, or grab a treat and set a spell on the green benches of Sherry's Country Store Gifts in the Western Plaza. Brighten up your wardrobe this season with a special look from On the Edge. Striking sweaters for her and comfortable flannel shirts in light and heavy weights. Top them off with a wide variety of leather and denim coats. Look sharp this fall with activewear from On the Edge.
The Moab Fire Department is planning a major expansion and will need the support at the polls to carry it out. That was the word from Fire Chief Corky Brewer, who told Channel 6 that the aim is to improve the ability of the department to fight blazes. The department, made up of volunteers, is highly rated in its ability to control fires. But last year, officials decided the department needed to begin looking at a long-term plan to allow them to continue doing so. They purchased a new truck with a grant from the Community Impact Board.
Over a year ago, we went to the CIB and asked for a grant to purchase a new mainline pumper. We spec'd it out, got the grant successfully, and are expecting that fire truck in the month of February.
At the same time, the department began looking at other needs as well and concluded they needed to expand the firehouse complex to provide better training facilities. Right now, they are looking at a purchase of property directly south of the firehouse. And while they hope to get a grant, Brewer says they will probably have to bond for it. They are approaching the CIB for a $350,000 low-interest loan.
This site has been looked at for a number of years, even prior to myself becoming chief, with the idea of being able to put some training facilities next door. We could save the money yearly, but we'd be looking at about 30 years from now being able to do something that needed to be done today. And so the only real way, with a lot of research, that we can do it is actually ask the taxpayers to pay it through a bond. The bond is, the fire district is tied to only an 8-year bond, and based on a $75,000 home, that would require each taxpayer to pay less than $20 a year for the 8 years, and then it's gone.
In order to put the question on the ballot, the fire department needs to gather on petitions the signatures of 25% of property owners within the district.
That's a real big task. I've got all my volunteers out because they believe in the project. And these volunteers are not only now putting in their time to volunteer for putting out fires and other emergencies, they're volunteering their time to go get signatures, and they also are going to be paying the taxes.
Volunteer firefighters are out now circulating the petitions along with your signature. They're also asking you voice any questions, concerns, or suggestions you have about the planned expansion so they can be included in a public hearing that will probably take place in March. Residents should tune in to Channel 6 Tuesday evening for a broadcast of the League of Women Voters Candidates Forum. The meeting, which took place last week, covers the races for County Council District 1, 2, 3, and 5. Candidates made statements and answered questions from both the League and from the audience. The forum will be broadcast at 7 p.m. Tuesday evening, February 2nd, and it will be rebroadcast on Thursday evening, also at 7 p.m. The Candidates Forum covering District 4 and the race for the 2 at-large seats will be broadcast Wednesday evening, February 3rd, and on Monday evening, February the 8th. Up next is the Canyon Country Weather Forecast when Channel 6 News continues.
For the best RV camp park in Moab, it's Holiday Haven, with oversized spaces to accommodate the largest RV and cool, comfortable tent sites under mature shade trees, all with a convenient central location. Holiday Haven is also Moab's finest mobile home park that offers country living in the city, an established park with pool, playground, laundry facilities, and a retired section. For comfortable RV or mobile home living, it's Holiday Haven, 400 North, 5th West.
I'm Delbert Oliver, a lifetime resident of Grand County. The decisions of the new county council will affect my future and the future of my family. In protecting our future, I'll be protecting your future. I would appreciate your vote on February the 9th for Councilman at Large. Thank you.
The Nike Air Moab, only at RIM.
Rain mixed with a little snow fell in the valley with afternoon temperatures staying in the mid-30s. Look for the weather to get better. The forecast for Moab and Canyon Country calls for the storm to pass over the state by Tuesday. Expect afternoon thermometer readings in the mid-40s with overnight lows down to around 25 degrees. By Wednesday, the sun should be out with highs around 45 and lows again in the 20s. And that's the news of Moab and Canyon Country. I'm Dee Tranter reporting. Have a good day.